Welcome, everybody. Today we are talking to Jenny Blake. She is author of Life After College, The Complete Guide to Getting What You Want. She's also a well-known blogger, lifeaftercollege.org, a life coach, and a former Google employee, and we were just chatting about the fun of working at Google. Jenny will be speaking at the WISE Symposium. It's the WISE 2012 Symposium and the 10th anniversary of the WISE Symposium. We're very excited about it. It'll be on April 3rd at the On Center in Syracuse, New York. And if you're interested in the agenda or tickets to the event, go to www.wiseconference.com. That's www.wiseconference.com. And I do encourage you to get there and get the tickets now. We did sell out last year. We have a bigger venue this year, but it's already selling hot, so get your tickets now. Jenny will be speaking at the WISE conference on the young and the restless. So welcome, Jenny. I'm so excited to talk to you today.
Thank you so much for having me. I cannot wait for the event.
Yeah, it's really, really fun, and the energy is exciting, so I'm looking forward to meeting you there. So
Yeah.
tell me about your focus on this whole conversation around life after college. I love the conversation, and being the mother of a college-age son and a soon-to-be college-age daughter, I can see this conversation being very relevant. So how did you get so engaged with it?
I looked to my own experience. I left school. I was at UCLA, and I actually left early to help one of my professors start a company. And I just remember that feeling of feeling lost and clueless and not sure where to start. And then, so I'm 28 now, there were many points along my road after college where I felt that same sense of lost and curious, and maybe something wasn't quite right, but I didn't know how to fix it. And so my blog has really evolved with me over the years on the journey of, I take a lot of liberty. My big secret is that my blog isn't just for college graduates. It's really for anyone who is thinking about living a life out loud, going after what they really want, and then managing through the ups and downs and uncertainty that inevitably comes with a lifestyle like that. I liken it to, I'm from California, San Francisco, and it's almost like there's a fog covering everything. San Francisco is very foggy, and sometimes you can't make out anything. All you can see is gray fog. And for anyone, whether you're 22, 25, 35, 45, and beyond, we hit those points in life where we feel like we're blindfolded and trying to walk forward through a path, and yet we can't see ahead of us. And my effort is, again, it's not just for college grads, it's for anyone to help lift the fog. And what I do with my coaching is, even if you can't see the exact buildings, can you make out any broad shapes? Do you have ideas? I want to live in a warm climate or a cold climate. I want to work at a big company or a small one. And just start to creatively brainstorm what might be next without having the pressure of trying to pick that exact right thing right off the bat.
Right. Oh, I think that's a great conversation. I've kind of been chatting with my son about that, that you don't have to define exactly what life is, that you learn what life is through opening doors and, oh, there's a surprise there, and didn't like big company, we'll go to small company next time, or,
Right.
that is, the process is not where you end up, it's getting there. The journey is really what the fun is. That's so
Absolutely.
Cool.
And as my dad would always tell me, no decisions are final. For the most part, anything that you try out and experiment with is good learning. And in today's day and age, we're not seeing anymore with this. Everyone is a lot more mobile. And so instead of thinking of our careers like a ladder where it's just straight up or off into oblivion, and that there's all this pressure to find the right job and move up at the right pace, I tell people, manage your career like a smartphone. It's up to you to download the apps that you need, skills, experiences, classes, side interests, and that your phone is your own. There's no phone competition, and it's up to you to find the mix of apps for your phone that's going to work. And I find that can be really empowering, especially for new grads, because they realize, oh, I've had a template, a whole ladder for my life, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, and now it's up to me. And most can relate to having a smartphone, kind of configuring it in a way that makes sense. And again, nothing's final. You don't like an app, you can look for ways to get rid of it. Or if you're not completely fulfilled at your day job, look for ways you can supplement that.
That's a great point. Don't you think, too, I wonder if some of the confusion for kids starts almost at high school. I know working through the college process with my son, and now starting it with my daughter, I almost feel like they're forced to make these choices about, well, you have to pick a school, so what are you going to do when you grow up kind of conversation. And I didn't know I was going to do this when I grew up. I'm 49, you know? Like,
Right.
and I think that's such a bad, almost the wrong conversation to be having with the kids. It's more about getting an education and maybe through that figuring it. I mean, some kids have passions and that's great, but I think so many of them get forced into this decision that they're not ready to make.
Yeah. Martha Beck, who's a life coach and author, she's my personal idol. She has this concept, the social self and the essential self. And she says the social self is who we make ourselves into to please our friends, family, parents, employers, teachers, and society as a whole. And that we need that. I mean, that's how we exist and cohabitate in the world. And yet, we often ignore our essential self. Underneath all of that societal kind of trying to impress, who are we at our core? And what does your essential self say and want? And that's where things like, what did you want to be when you were a kid? What activities did you love to do? What are 3 guilty pleasure, like total, out-of-the-box careers that you would want to have if you could do anything and if money weren't an issue? And that those questions start to help people understand, oh, yeah, what is my essential self saying? Who am I and what do I really want underneath all of those layers of people pleasing that I know for me, I totally grew up as a people pleaser.
I think, women especially, I think we're very much the people pleasers. That's awesome. So tell me, why do you think events like WISE Symposium are so important to women entrepreneurs?
For me, conferences have been the most motivating, energizing, network building experience that I do. And especially as female entrepreneurs, a lot of times we're isolated. I work from home. I don't have a lot of coworkers, or any for that matter. And it's really nice to be able to come together, share ideas, meet new people. And probably the thing that I love the most is getting excited about what serendipitous person or idea is going to come across my path. And as an entrepreneur, we're all a little more open to uncertainty, and we can't really build the whole, I mentioned the job that you're at for 30 years where you really have that sense of stability and security. As an entrepreneur, we're taking on more risk and uncertainty, and it's really this beautiful opportunity to have these interesting, unexpected connections and ideas cross our paths and to be able to really take action on those. So I love conferences for that reason alone.
Yeah, the energy is always so amazing. They always have wonderful speakers. Last year we had Bobby Brown and J.J. Ramsberg. Yeah, I know, I love Bobby. Now I'm completely a Bobby Brown girl now. So
nice, I love it.
But it was also just the women in the chairs next to you, and the energy and the conversation and the networking. I thought that was really powerful. So, well, I really appreciate your time today, and I'm very excited to hear your session. Actually, I want to go to everybody's session, so I'm not sure how I'm going to work that out. But I would very much like to hear you speak. I think you have a lot of great conversation to offer to people. So again, we're speaking to Jenny Blake, who will be speaking at the WISE 2012 Symposium. This is the 10th anniversary of the WISE Conference, and it'll be on April 3rd in Syracuse, New York at the On Center. And for tickets and information, please go to www.wiseconference.com. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks so much. Bye. See everyone there.
Bye.